Gendered representation is crucial in shaping students' experiences. The use of role models in the school system plays a key part in influencing students throughout their lives. Whether it is the teachers who teach in the classroom, the historical figures who they learn about in their textbooks, or simply an adult in the building, representation in education plays a critical role in every student's success and personal development. Role models help shape and influence values, morals, and perceptions. They can offer insight and guidance which can help lead individuals towards the right direction. Their influence is especially significant in education as students often look up to their teachers for inspiration. A diverse range of role models ensures that all students feel valued and encouraged to explore their potential and go beyond the traditional gender norms. Having a good ratio of gendered role models for teachers can play a vital role in the school system, giving easy access to different role models to students. However, the major imbalance of teachers, with 75% of the public schools teachers being female, according to the AAUW article, places a great amount of stress to the rest of the male and non-binary role models. The imbalance of gendered role models is not just a statistic, but an ethical concern. A clear example is toxic masculinity due to schools being without or having the lack of male role models in their students' lives. Caroline Clausen builds on this, finding a strong connection in her research between boys that have traditional masculine views and having negative consequences, such as depression, poor academic performance, and achievement. Having more male role models as teachers may help break these traditional stereotypes for young boys and help create a more neutral and fostering environment in the classroom. Teachers should promote inclusivity and specifically neutralize sexist remarks that students may display in school. Teachers should challenge themselves to negate gender norms and build upon student interests and opportunities. A common example of the impact of gender norms continuing to influence student engagement in different school subjects is English class. Boys may feel out of place or out of touch with the subject as it can be seen as girly to be interested in literature. Girls may feel the same way in class such as physical education, as many often feel excluded when participating in group games such as soccer or basketball. When examining the impacts of gender norms in PE, male students often dominate their will, making female students feel less valued or not included. April St. Louis highlights key points of how boys verbally and non-verbally reinforce gender stereotypes in sports, such as calling girls weaker. Ensuring early gender inclusivity and at young age can help prevent exclusion at later ages of team play. When flipping back to English, many boys often have a personal view that the course is feminine. Research done by Sokol found that by grade 2, 24% of boys see reading as a feminine activity. Having more male teacher representation in these areas can help negate the misconception of gender-specific courses. As a future educator, it is important to negate these views and teach students to pursue anything they find interesting. As Canada continues to emphasize equality and inclusion, the need for diverse role models is one that schools must provide to the best of their abilities. Exposing students to several diverse adult figures can challenge social stereotypes and encourage students to pursue whatever they believe in and negate the false views of masculine and feminine careers and interests. While many schools in Canada may start to prioritize the need for more male teachers, it is vital to remember the importance of non-binary and transgender students as well. With more and more students identifying as transgendered or non-binary, they also require role models they can see themselves as. As a future teacher, my job is to create an inclusive and respectful learning environment, making sure everyone has a place and feels wanted. Representation of non-binary educators can further foster care. An interesting quote founded by Wayne Martino shares its students' perspective in life at school. Kids bully because they learn it from culture, not because they are mean. Teachers must nurture and allow students to grow as people that prioritize love and care. Educators must also address systemic biases to promote acceptance of all people in the classroom. Jules, a genderqueer teacher from Eastern Canada, often faced discomfort from understaffed and parents when they tried to be themselves. Despite these challenges, they pushed through and made positive impacts on students' lives. Teachers like Jules are a great benefit to the Canadian school system and act as pillars for the non-binary educators and students. As Canada strives to be an inclusive country, we need more teachers like Jules. Creating these inclusive classrooms like Jules has done should be the priority of all educators. Teachers should use inclusive language and challenge traditional gender norms. Schools in Canada can also help in fostering for all students and staff by creating gender-neutral facilities like washrooms. Change needs to start at the top, from professional development of educators such as me and the impact we have on gender stereotypes. When we trickle down to the role of students, addressing gender stereotypes at an early age can help shape gender perceptions. A balanced representation of gender role models should start at primary ages, and teachers should encourage students to explore all interests and facets of school. Giving students the freedom to choose without being judged plays a vital role in helping shape future students' views. Beyond the teacher in the classroom, media, literature, and historical figures should be used to help highlight the diversity of people. Students should explore work created by a number of individuals, from men to women to non-binary people. The representation of gender in textbooks and videos help paint a wider image, an image that involves all students being free to do whatever interests them. As students start to see the benefits of gender-inclusive role models, they will continue to challenge stereotypes. They will promote love and foster empathy, respect, and personal relationships with all the people around them. Representation of all gender will continue to push for a world with better social interactions between people and a world where one can pursue their interests without being judged or knocked down. Schools should continue to shift towards a more gender-neutral zone with a balance of male, female, and non-binary role models acting as pillars for the future generation. Creating and fostering a safe place where education can continue to evolve and support the diverse amount of people in the world, schools should be the starting ground of change, to include and give equal opportunity to all individuals no matter what gender they identify as. Teachers should actively promote gender care in their classrooms, encouraging students to partake in open conversations about what gender is and how stereotypes can lead individuals to places of no return. Schools should implement safe learning programs that teaches young students the importance of breaking gender stereotypes, because we are all humans capable of great things, not bounded by what gender we are. Not only should schools have different gender role models to teach the next generation a life with no unfair judgment and specific gender stereotypes, but parents can also support this change by exposing their children to multiple different role models at home and at extracurricular activities. Students should be encouraged to explore interests that go beyond themselves and traditional gender norms. Gender role models will help shape students' inspiration, confidence, and worldviews. Having balanced representation of role models will help foster inclusive learning and eventually lead students to create communities that promote the inclusion of everyone. Representation to these students is the key to challenging traditional gender stereotypes and eventually lead to a world that promotes all no matter what gender someone is.